All right, this video will be called The Two Spirals, the Christos and the Metatronic. And you can see here in the picture, I have the Metatronic star of Moloch here on the individual. It's a downward spiral synthetic environment. Here we're in nature. We have the upward spiral going up. These are the two spirit families. Here we go. I need to talk about something that a lot of people are going to feel before they understand. There are two spiritual systems running this world. They look almost identical on the surface. One is the upward spiral of the Christos. The other is the downward spiral of the Metatronic system. Both speak of God. Both reference scriptures. Both talk about messiahs and salvation. But only one of them comes from source. This is hard to say because I know many people who are deeply devout. They mean well. They think they're serving the Creator, but they're following a current that doesn't return to source. It loops, drains, and feeds on devotion without ever offering real resurrection. This is what I call the Metatronic system. It's a fractured circuit of divinity that mimics the real one. It speaks in laws and blood and sacrifice and punishment. It exalts hierarchy and fear and obedience. But here's the part that most people don't realize. When people pray to Jehovah, they believe they're praying to God. Some even think they're praying to the Messiah, but Jehovah is not the Christos. Jehovah is the name attached to the downward spiral. He's a God of order, control, legalism, sacrifice, and he demands separation, not union. He was called jealous in the very scriptures people think are holy. And yes, that same current shows up in fundamentalist religions across the board. Old Testament Christianity, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormonism, hardline Islam, many streams of modern Judaism, and even the hidden esoteric orders behind global power. This system masquerades as divinity, but it's actually the Antichrist. Not the horned villain from horror movies, but the inversion of the real Christos. And here's the kicker. The Christos, the true divine consciousness, is the Antichrist to the Metatronic system. In other words, anyone who follows love, gnosis, inner knowing, balance, unity, they're the enemy to the control grid. So let's get this clear. Jehovah is not the name of the creator source. It's the name of the fractured current claiming to represent him. The real Christos spiral is alive. It's organic. It's not about law. It's about heart. It doesn't require sacrifice. It resurrects. It doesn't dominate from the top. It harmonizes from the inside out. It's not about memorizing scripture. It's about becoming the living word. Now, this isn't just spiritual philosophy. This shows up in real world energetic data. Models based on older Metatronic scripture, especially those that emphasize law, wrath, and hierarchy, literally pull energy from the downward spiral. It's dark energy. They open portals to dark energy that feels heavy, rigid, tight, and demanding. I can see it. And when someone's devotion is rooted in that current, the toroidal field around them, the energetic spiral, it actually reflects it. It becomes fractured, pulling inward rather than radiating outward. There's no living coherence. But if someone turns toward the New Testament, not the religious structure, but the pure Christos codes underneath, the entire spiral shifts. The toroid becomes regenerative. Energy returns to the source. Coherence begins. That's the real resurrection. I'm saying this because I know there are people out there who love God, who want to serve the truth with everything they have, but they're unknowingly plugged into a system that's siphoning their light. If you've been pouring out your heart in prayer and still feel empty, if you've been following all the rules and still feel unloved or afraid or stuck, that's not God punishing you. That's a broken system pretending to be him. Let me take it one layer deeper. In my video on the 33 architects and 7 spheres, I showed how the planets, or what we think are planets, are actually wandering stars, energetic intelligences aligned to the polarity of either Christos or Metatron. It's all there in the structure of the firmament. Every star is an interference. Some are servants of the upward spiral. Other stars or other agents of the downward one. In the system that enslaves this world, it's run by those on the downward spiral. And if you've seen my earlier videos where I talk about the firmament locks, the Metatronic locks, then you know exactly what I'm referring to when I say these are the beings enforcing the downward spiral system. These are the locks on reality itself. When I show you that image, the one with the Metatronic lock, understand that it's not just symbolic. It's the actual architecture of the trap. That's how they've bound the energy field. That's how they've sealed the system. These entities don't just run the narrative. They run the infrastructure. They hijack the torus. They invert the current. They code their frequency into every layer of experience, from media and education to sexuality and even your thoughts. All of it. Lust, violence, despair, false light, fake love. All of it comes from this same corrupted spiral that keeps pulling us down. So when you see the lock, and I will show you that again, just remember that that is the prison. That is the mechanism they use to keep you from ascending. But once you see it, truly see it, you can start to break it. And you can begin to reclaim the spiral. You can rise. And that's why I told you before, we can break this thing from the inside out. Just like a Cinderella man. Jim, you're going to have to take them from the inside out. From the inside out. Yes. I'm not going to name names here, but the ones running the world, the ones behind the hidden systems, the black cubes, the secret societies, the false light religions, the media, the non-stop crises, the distortion of sex, the commodification of spirit, the hollowing out of meaning. They all feed on the same thing, your energy, inverted. The downward spiral makes everything cheap, nothing sacred. It rewards your suffering with silence. And that silence is meant to make you question your worth. So you'll give even more of your light to be seen. But I'm telling you this now, you can break free. You were never meant to beg for love. You were meant to become it. You were never meant to memorize rules. You were meant to radiate truth. You were never meant to sacrifice to a God who hides his face. You were meant to walk with the living light of Christos, the true spiral home. Hope you have a great day. Namaste.